everybody, we're here another episode on Wendy and Tech, and I have one of the most amazing women ever in the building with me. I love her. Her name is Na'Kaila Sandidge, and she is one of the hottest cybersecurity professionals in the area of Houston, Texas, and she's on the couch with me today. So I'm going to pass the mic to Na'Kaila, and let's hear more about you.
Hey everyone, as Wendy mentioned, I'm actually very grateful to be on this couch, just speaking about tech. Love to have a woman in tech and next to me a woman of color. We're doing a lot of great things, so thank you for having
Yes,
me.
of course.
Yes, look, clock that T, as the girls say. But yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, born and raised. I lived a lot of places, but that's my stomping grounds. I'm a proud graduate at Mississippi Valley State University and also North Carolina A&T State University. And to start my career, I started at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory. And then I went to a very small company called Simple Practice for a very short period of time, and now I'm at Disney.
Disney!
Yep. It's been 4 years, so it's been a great journey, honestly. And, like yourself, very young, but killing it, doing a lot of great things. A footprint, honestly, has been a great journey.
I mean, did y'all not hear that? First of all, NASA, y'all know I love me some NASA. And let's not forget the Walt Disney Company. I mean, who does not like going to Disney? I've been to Disney World more than 10 times, I'm just being honest, and I'll still be going today. So, once you get in that role of Disney, first let's start off. What role do you actually have with Disney?
So I'm a senior security specialist, and what that means is I ensure that our applications and products at the Walt Disney Company are secure and follow our policies and standards.
That is amazing. And then it's a woman of color behind the scenes doing that for our guy, Mickey. Okay.
Protecting the magic,
Protecting the magic at the kingdom.
Yes.
Protecting the kingdom. Okay, so we know Disney is like one of the hottest companies. They operate globally. So how do you ensure that we're making sure that Disney stays safe from hackers and adversaries out there, especially with things going on with, AI and people are being able to modify and trick them with your identification?
Yeah, so we go through different audit processes. So that's annually, year round. So like new products that do come in, testing it thoroughly, and that's honestly my job. So like if they're going through the risk assessment process before it even goes into production, the security architecture review, looking at every component of the application, and then also penetration tests. Hey, this needs to be enrolled. Do we have the TPA, third party assessment, for those that may not know the acronyms? But yeah, so just covering all bases, and that's really just my day-to-day, ensuring that everything goes through those thorough steps, so we do not incur like any issues, bottom line, and then we just reassess those regularly, and if we do have any vulnerabilities that do come up, we're addressing them promptly, so we're learning the risks, and then that's it.
Wow, look at that. Okay, hold on. So how did you even land this type of role at the Walt Disney Company? How is that even possible?
So really, your network is everything. I will say that. So as I mentioned, I started at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory as an intern. And at the end of my internship, my manager at the time said, I want you to work here full time. She is now my manager today. She was also the person who referred me to the Walt Disney Company. And so that's how I got to Disney. But I would not say it's an easy thing. I did go through the thorough interview process, 4 rounds of interviews, and apply like everyone else. But, you have people to vouch for you and make sure, that you can do the work and you're going to, represent them well also. And that's what I did.
I think that's so important for the generation now because people just see us get into tech, working cybersecurity, like, oh, we don't have to do much. We could just get in there. We don't have to go to school. We could just get in there, get a certification, I'll land a job.
Yeah.
But there's so many different things in the back end you have to do to get yourself out there. You have to be able to have the networking done, so you can have the skills to get the job done.
Right.
And also you have to overall be just a really good person because sometimes just because you get the job done but you have a piss poor attitude, it does not guarantee you anything.
It's not going to work. Yeah, you have to be a cultural fit as well, right? So a lot of people can have, like you mentioned, the accolades. Like, okay, we've all gone to school. We've all graduated. At some point, your GPA no longer matters. So what do you bring to the table? Can you lead a project? Can you speak well? How do you conduct yourself, and carry yourself, especially being a Black woman? I think that's important. But also make those networks and keep them strong, right? And so staying connected on LinkedIn is pretty much what landed me the opportunity, because it was a matter of saying, hey, how are you doing? Are you still interested in other opportunities? Let's make it work. And so that's what happened. And I'm very grateful, that I did what I needed to do at a very young age and really just being who I am, very being like unapologetically authentic, because I came in saying, hey, I don't know everything, but I'm willing to learn. And she was like, okay, cool, we got you. And even today, it's like, hey, we may not know everything, but we're going to get the job done. Let's figure it out.
Continuously learning, and also, too, just being hungry. I tell people all the time, you got to be hungry in this industry, because if you're not going to be hungry, you're not going to make it. And you have to be open to continuously learning and teaching yourself and learning from different people and being like a sponge, absorbing that information. So that's really good that you did that. And you're also like, a pillar for young people all over. A young Black girl's going to watch this episode and be like, yes. Oh my God, she's working with Mickey Mouse.
People honestly, like, they get overwhelmed by the brand. I honestly didn't have a dream job, but like yourself, like, I've been to Disney countless times, like as a child, even now as an adult. But it's like, you have to know who you are and what you're trying to do. Like, what is the impact that you want to have? And so I left that small company that I told you about to go to a larger company so I can impact others, and so people recognize, oh, Disney, I know Disney. I want to work at Disney. Oh, I didn't know tech opportunities at Disney. Now I know. I see her. I want to be like her. I want to do what she does. And just paving the way for those young women is honestly why I went to Disney.
Yeah, they probably. So off the record, how many times you could ask for a discount to go to
all the time? All the time. My friend literally just asked, like, do y'all have Disney discounts with Aldo? Like, what? Like, please.
That is so good. So you're being active within, like, the Disney company. And also, what do you do on the outside besides just working for Disney? You do a lot of things in the community, right?
Yeah. So I started a business called Beyond Niche Consulting to ensure that young individuals, really just get that exposure at a very young age, right? So understanding what cybersecurity is, understanding who they are, building that confidence. So there's like a mental health aspect to it as well. And I do that mentorship also. So that's kind of what I do outside of the company.
That's really good. I think that's really pushing more so, what we do outside the company also matters, because we're kind of quote unquote, I guess, representing them, but you're also representing yourself, and that just shows who you are as a person, right? So if you guys did not know, Na'Kaila is also a member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority chapter. She also does a lot of things within the community, and she just mentioned her own outreach as well. So my question for you is, like, how's that been going for you so far for this year?
So honestly, this year I feel like we're taking off, right? So like making those genuine connections and knowing what you're trying to do and get things accomplished, it's been going very well. So really just building those bridges, understanding like who you connect with, so you all are on the same mission, essentially, like you and myself, and just starting off certain conversations and mentorships opportunities already this year, and we're in the second quarter, so I'm looking forward to everything that's to come.
This is a rolling train. It's not going to stop.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the Polar Express.
Yes. There's so much to come. You'll see more of us. And you're like, oh, they're always together doing great things, but I do think collaboration is important. People, get into these positions and feel like they have to be the only one. And then sometimes they don't reach back and say, hey, I had someone to help me, right? And truly no one really gets there by themselves. And so I always give, the applause, the recognition to those who have helped me and got me in the positions that I'm in, because that's truly important. People don't feel like they have to figure out themselves, right? Because a lot of people think that because they see that, and people are like, oh, I grinded for 10 plus years and now I'm a millionaire. Like, who helped you? Yeah. Like, who endorsed you? Who sponsored you?
Exactly.
There's usually someone in the background, and people don't always give people, that recognition, and sometimes it's needed.
So for yourself, do you feel like you would like to stay in the role in GRC at Walt Disney, or do you feel like you want to explore other opportunities?
I'm thinking more expansion and program. And the reason why is because it's like when you start to see the processes through and through, and as a holistic approach, you're like, oh, we can solve a bigger problem. And that's where I am today. Like, I want to solve the big problems. Like, when it comes to AI, are we considering that? How are we going to secure the platforms, the business, as AI, comes in and people are using these tools just regularly, not just now learning it. Like, there's going to be like a day-to-day thing for us. So just getting ahead of that, and just really lowering that risk exposure, right? And just being very proactive. And I think there's approaches to that. It's just spending the time up front and having that forefront thought about cybersecurity as opposed to having a reactive way or reactive approach, right? So really just getting into the business and understanding like where the money is. Like, hey, let's spend the money here instead of later, right? And I think they bring individuals like you and myself in because we are great problem solvers.
Right.
But it's like, hey, we have to fight a battle to get people to understand why we're important.
Exactly.
You know, and at the end of the day, it's like we should be in front of your mind so we don't have to spend as much money and energy fixing these issues.
So do you think that, I ask everybody this question because I have my own interpretation of it. Do you think that AI is here to take people's jobs?
Absolutely can. And I'll say it can, but no. Because at the end of the day, like, you just have to be knowledgeable about anything that comes. I also used to preach, like, hey, getting into cybersecurity, it's the next thing in technology, right? Information and technology, information security has been there, where cybersecurity is a little bit more enhanced because it's an easier way to do things. And if I didn't think, you know, hey, I can get into it, I could be like, I'm taking somebody else's job or whatever. It's not that. It's just taking advantage of the opportunities, and I think everybody should be considering that in their day-to-day job.
I feel like our industry right now, I know we work in two different like types, but like our overall technology industry itself, it's like the movie WALL-E. I don't know if y'all seen WALL-E, but it's like when, you know, the little robot was trying to find like Earth or something, and the humans were like super lazy, letting technology take over. I feel like if we allow that to happen with AI, that's going to be us, right?
Right.
So we have to find a way to where we're going to be able to teach ourselves and keep moving with the pace of the technology, or we're going to get left behind. And I'm not trying to be like the people that was in WALL-E.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They was laying down, letting themselves go. I ain't trying to let myself go. I'm trying to lift myself up. So you ain't
right. But why just sit back and let the technology do it themselves?
No,
you know, like,
saying,
because
like,
at the end of the day, there's somebody doing it, right?
Exactly.
It's a program at the end of the day. Somebody's programming to make sure that somebody's job is more efficient, more effective. It can be done, you know, at a fast pace, because essentially that's kind of the direction that we're moving, get things done a little bit faster.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, the tools and resources and education is there. We just have to take advantage of it. But if you want to sit back and be lazy, I mean, that's why I said can.
Exactly.
Right? Like, because you have an option. And I think people just may allow that fear to just take over, and they just sit back and let their job go away. Like, no, like, get in front and be like, hey, I know how I can utilize AI in my day-to-day job. Like, I had to do that this week myself. Like, let me just build this automation. I'm no longer that person sending this message and letting people know to do their job for X, Y, and Z. Use the automation to do it. You just sit back and let it happen. And that's me taking advantage of the technology. People can do the same thing, but they don't.
That's people who've been like working at certain companies for like 10 plus, 20 plus years, doing the same processes, and then they're wondering why we're not producing or we're not having any good turnarounds, because you guys will not adapt to your surroundings. So people got to be open to that. But you did mention a very important thing with your last statement. You said resources. So I see you as a very important resource for our young community, right? Seeing a lot of takeover with African American women or men in the industry right now for us is a huge approach, because before it was never like that. I mean, I remember being in college and I was the only person or only woman in the classroom with a whole bunch of, you know, white males and maybe one or two foreigners, and that was like what my environment was. But now I'm approached with like diversity. So with that approach, like, what advice can you give to a young Black girl like yourself that's looking to maybe work for Walt Disney one day, or maybe just be ambitious and just stand out like you are?
I would definitely say apply yourself, right? Applying yourself is like the biggest thing, because at the end of the day, we don't know everything, but get out there, learn, use the tools, YouTube, TikTok, whatever that is, because somebody's teaching, somebody's trying to educate you all on these subjects if you're, you know, just a little bit of interest in it. But also, like, reach out to individuals and say, hey, I want you to teach me about this. So getting those mentors early on, as opposed to later in life, because like myself, I ended up going to graduate school because I really didn't know exactly how to get into cybersecurity without going to graduate school. So that was my way of getting in. But if I would have had a mentor to say, hey, you already have a computer science degree, you just need to learn these things or learn a little bit more, right? I had lecture-based knowledge. I didn't have applicable knowledge that I could use in a day-to-day workforce. But again, if I had that mentor to say, you just need this little thing here, put this on your resume, you'll be better off. So connecting with people early on. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to fail fast. Like, I think people be like so afraid to, like, oh, I'm going to fail. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
But you learn and you succeed after that. Like, you just figure it out. I think that's just a part of life and a process. You can't avoid it one way or another. Like, you just come to the table and you just figure it out. That's what I would highly recommend. And when it comes to Disney, there's so many opportunities. So reach out to individuals like myself. If you see someone posting on LinkedIn or on TikTok and saying, hey, apply for this, reach out to those individuals directly. So you can have those connections and somebody know you by face, by name, and what you do, what you're interested in, so they can, also get you in those spaces.
Yep. And then maybe you can take us to Disney World in Tokyo.
Right.
Look us,
please.
But I appreciate you so much for coming on today. I mean, you're just impactful in so many ways. We actually met via LinkedIn, so it's very crazy. So I think you're also part of the WESIS Houston, so I'm the VP for WESIS, and we kind of connected on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And ever since then, we've been in connection. So this is like another example for you guys to see, like, how far networking could take you. You could turn it to friendship. You could turn it to like long life friendship, sisterhood, whatever you want to explain it. But definitely continue to always approach people that are in your same network. It's very important. You never know what opportunities you can get in front of your face. So we do appreciate Na'Kaila for coming, and also with her presence and everything she's doing. And make sure you guys, tune into her business. She has a lot of things that's coming up in the community to cook up for mentorship. So you guys get your children involved. Let's go ahead and change the game together. Thank you.
Thanks.